The Las Vegas Raiders are making some key changes along the offensive line. One of the most notable moves, guard Dylan Parham is shifting back to his original spot at left guard, a position where he's shown more comfort and consistency in the past. And based on early signs, this looks like the plan moving forward. While media access has been limited during OTAs, sources close to the situation have confirmed that Parham is working on the left side, while newly acquired veteran Alex Kappa is stepping in at right guard. So what does the projected starting offensive line look like right now? Left tackle, Colton Miller. Left guard, Dylan Parham center, Jackson Powers. Johnson. Right guard, Alex Kappa. Right tackle, DJ Glaze. Of course, things can always shift before week 1, but this is how the Raiders envision their starting 5 as of now. And truthfully, it's a group with real potential. Parham is entering his 4th season and could be in line for a breakout year, especially if he settles into that left guard role. Meanwhile, rookie Jackson Powers Johnson seems locked in as the center of the future. That's where he belongs. He's a natural fit in the middle and shouldn't be shuffled around the line. The right side is still a work in progress. DJ Glaze and Alex Kappa will get the first crack at locking down those roles, but there's competition brewing behind them. The Raiders added 2 offensive linemen in the draft, Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant. According to the coaching staff, Rogers is being developed exclusively at guard, while Grant is being groomed as a tackle. There's no cross-training planned, at least for now. And this is where the Parham move makes even more sense. By sliding him to left guard, the Raiders clear a path on the right side for Caleb Rogers to eventually challenge Kappa. Rogers, a 3rd-round pick, is expected to be a future starter, and maybe sooner rather than later. He played right tackle in college, so transitioning to right guard is a smoother adjustment, given the footwork and stance similarities. Now, as for Kappa, there's reason to be cautious. He's a serviceable veteran, but he doesn't bring much upside. Comparisons have been made to players like Cody Whitehair, steady but limited. And with someone like Jordan Meredith already on the roster, who fits a similar mold, it raises the question, do the Raiders really need another one of those? In the bigger picture, this is a calculated strategy by the Raiders. Moving Parham to left guard not only maximizes his strengths, but also creates a clearer developmental path for their rookie investment in Caleb Rogers. If it all clicks, the Raiders might have a young, physical, and cohesive offensive line taking shape. For the Las Vegas Raiders, developing rookie Caleb Rogers at right guard feels like a natural fit. Rogers played right tackle in college, which means his technique, stance, and footwork on that side of the line already translate well to the next level. As a guard, he'll operate in tighter space, but the transition should be smooth. This move also complements the decision to shift Dylan Parham back to left guard, where he's shown the most consistency throughout his career. It sets the stage for Rogers to eventually replace Alex Kappa at right guard, and that might happen sooner than later. Kappa is a steady veteran, but the ceiling with him is limited. If Rogers impresses during training camp and the preseason, the Raiders could roll out an offensive line with real upside. Left tackle, Colton Miller. Left guard, Dylan Parham center, Jackson Powers. Johnson. Right guard, Caleb Rogers. Right tackle, DJ Glaze. That lineup offers youth, power, and a future foundation. It might not start the season as a top-tier unit, but by the second half of the year, it could very well rank among the top 10 offensive lines in the NFL. Rogers should grow week by week, and Jackson Powers Johnson has the potential to emerge as one of the league's most physically dominant centers, possibly even in his rookie year. As for Parham, the left guard spot seems to be where he thrives. He held his own at right guard last season, but his natural feel and movement on the left side make him more effective. When Parham entered the league out of Memphis, he had experience all across the offensive line: right guard, right tackle, and eventually left guard. The Raiders plugged him in at left guard early in his rookie season, likely around week 2 or 3, and he held the spot down for 2 years before shifting back to the right in 2023. After reviewing his game tape, it's clear Parham is simply better at left guard. That's why the Raiders are locking him in on the left side again. He's currently their most reliable interior lineman, and keeping him there provides stability. Meanwhile, Kappa will still get every opportunity to hold onto the starting job at right guard, but that competition with Rogers could heat up quickly. DJ Glaze is expected to open the season as the starting right tackle. He's talented, but keep an eye on rookie Charles Grant. The team made it clear on draft day, Grant was selected to play tackle. With only 2 tackle spots available, Colton Miller on the left and Glaze on the right. Grant's development will directly challenge Glaze's hold on the position. Now, Grant might not be ready just yet. If he needs a year to develop, that's fine. It gives Glaze time to prove he can lock down that role long term. Either way, it's a good problem for the Raiders to have. Two promising young tackles fighting for a starting job. In the big picture, this offensive line might not look elite in week 1, but as the season progresses, it has the tools to become one of the better units in the league. For a team building a new identity, that's exactly what you want in the trenches. As the Las Vegas Raiders kick off organized team activities, a few new faces have already begun making waves on social media and within the building. The first is Lucky Tosi, the team's International Pathway Program player. A former rugby standout of Samoan descent, Tosi's physical traits have fans and analysts buzzing. Standing at 6 feet 7 inches and weighing 348 pounds, he cuts an imposing figure, and a recent image posted by the team shows just how massive he truly is. Even without a reference point in the picture, the size of his hands relative to a helmet nearby gives away the sheer scale of this athlete. Tosi isn't an offensive lineman. He's expected to work with the defensive line, though his exact position remains unclear. He may be too tall for a traditional nose tackle role, and without proven pass rush tools, it's still uncertain if he'll fit best as a 3 technique or somewhere else. For now, he's a developmental project, but the raw traits are hard to ignore. If you haven't seen his rugby tape, it's worth watching. Despite his size, Tosi moves with rare agility, outrunning smaller opponents with surprising burst and speed. It's easy to see why the Raiders took a chance on him. These are the types of low-risk, high-reward players you want rounding out your 90-man offseason roster. Long shots with elite physical tools and untapped potential. Another viral moment from OTAs came courtesy of linebacker Amari Gaynor, and the buzz around him is well-earned. Wearing number 53, Gaynor looked absolutely shredded in images from day 1 of practice. Standing next to veteran Landon Roberts, number 52, the size and physicality difference is striking. Gaynor looks every bit the modern NFL linebacker. Originally signed as an undrafted free agent last season, Gaynor beat the odds and made the active roster, a rare accomplishment. He showed flashes in the preseason, and with another offseason of development, he's in prime position to carve out a real role in 2025. This is also the perfect environment for a young linebacker to grow. With veterans like Devin White, Jalen Smith, and Landon Roberts in the room, there's no shortage of experience to learn from. If Gaynor is going to take the next step, this is the year to do it. He's got the build, the motor, and now the mentorship. The Raiders have quietly built a linebacker room with a good mix of proven talent and developmental upside. Alongside Gaynor, players like Darian Butler, Amari Burney, and Kenai Mauga are also competing to climb the depth chart. Bottom line, Tosi and Gaynor may be far apart in terms of experience and polish, but both represent exactly what the Raiders want this offseason: raw talent, physicality, and the chance to grow into contributors. As OTAs continue, keep an eye on both names. As the Las Vegas Raiders continue building toward the 2025 season, they've taken another meaningful step in their preparation: a joint practice with the San Francisco 49ers, scheduled just 2 days before their preseason clash. According to reports, the Raiders will host a one-day scrimmage on August 14th, followed by their preseason matchup with the 49ers on August 16th at 1 p.m. While the preseason offers opportunities for players to earn roster spots and gain reps, coaches and veterans alike will tell you, joint practices provide the real test. Why? Because they're fast, physical, and intentional. Unlike preseason games where starters may only play a handful of snaps, joint practices simulate full-speed reps between first-team units, starters on starters, with actual in-game scenarios drawn up and executed under live conditions. Expect both teams to script specific challenges: red zone drills, short yardage packages, third down defense, and full run fit responsibilities. This is where the learning curve steepens, and teams like the Raiders can evaluate their true competitive edge, not just against their own depth chart, but against one of the NFL's elite rosters. And make no mistake, the 49ers remain among the league's best. With Robert Saleh returning to the organization, the Raiders' offense will be tested against a high-pressure, top-tier defensive scheme. It's the kind of matchup that will push quarterback timing, offensive line communication, and route discipline to the limit. That's exactly what head coach Antonio Pierce and his staff want as they mold a young, hungry roster. there's also a strategic element that can't be overstated. At joint practices, coaches can design the exact situations they want to see. If the Raiders want to simulate a 2-minute drill, a 3rd and 12, or goal line defense from the 5-yard line, they can. It's live, it's situational, and it's invaluable. While the preseason will still serve its purpose, especially for young players trying to crack the final 53-man roster, this one-day joint session may prove more telling about the Raiders' readiness than any exhibition game. Lastly, a key date to watch. Tomorrow marks the first open OTA session for media access. Raiders beat reporters will be inside the facility for the first time this offseason, giving fans their first real look at depth charts, rotations, and standout performers. As media prepares to enter the Raiders facility for the first time during OTAs, all eyes will be on a few key position battles, and one name sure to generate intrigue is rookie offensive lineman Charles Grant. Drafted as an offensive tackle, the question isn't whether Grant will play, it's where he'll line up. Will he be competing at right tackle? Could he push for reps on the left side? Or might the Raiders experiment with him inside at guard? These are answers that could begin to emerge as soon as tomorrow, when beat reporters finally get their first look at practice. Expect to see matchups like Max Crosby versus DJ Glaze or Thayer Munford, but keep a close watch on Grant. His development and versatility may end up being one of the more important stories of the offseason. Don't be surprised if he's moved around. In fact, a similar approach worked recently for another highly touted prospect. In 2024, the New York Jets selected Olu Fashanu, the top-rated offensive tackle on many draft boards, with the 10th overall pick. But they had already signed veteran Tyron Smith, a future Hall of Famer, to man the left tackle position. Instead of forcing Fashanu into the lineup, the Jets had him start as a reserve. But when injuries hit the interior line, Fashanu stepped in, first at left guard, then at right guard. When Smith eventually went down midseason, Fashanu shifted to left tackle and dominated. Could the Raiders take a similar developmental path with Grant? It's possible, though he may be viewed as a long-term tackle. Giving him live reps at guard could help ease his transition to the NFL, build confidence, and improve his physicality against quicker interior rushers. The offensive line is a demanding position group, and versatility often earns young players a faster route to the field. While Grant may not start week 1, don't be surprised if he's seeing valuable snaps across multiple positions. As with Fashanu, the goal is long-term success, possibly as the Raiders' franchise left tackle. For now, the focus is on development, competition, and growth. The offseason is just heating up, and we'll learn a lot more once the media sets foot in the building.